Hi there everyone, it's Ryan Liberty. In this video, I'm going to answer the question, what is healthy narcissism? Okay everybody, I'm excited to get into what healthy narcissism is because I think people don't necessarily think that healthy and narcissism should be in the same phrase, but there is a thing called healthy narcissism and I've done my research. You'll see me looking down at my notes because it exists, and it's surprising sometimes to see what people come up with to describe the phenomenon that's going on when we're talking about mental health. So this was a term that I found was from 1953. And it has a specific meaning. It's interesting because it's becoming more used again. It's something that I think we haven't used for a long time, this concept of healthy narcissism, but it seems like there's a interest in narcissism right now particularly. I wonder why. And so I see that as a good thing. Any interest in mental health is a good thing, but this term has been tossed around a lot more, and I'd like to just get to the bottom of what that term is. So what healthy narcissism is, it's an awareness of self and how your self relates to others without that anxious distress that comes with what we typically think of like narcissistic personality disorder. There's no anxiety, there's no grandiosity and manipulativeness and all that other kind of stuff that comes with that. I do have a video on narcissistic personality disorder if you want to try to make the distinction between the two. But as far as healthy narcissism, there's healthy self-esteem regulation through self-love and self-compassion. You find that, when it comes to narcissism, there's too much referencing yourself for something, and then kind of like on the other end of things, you have maybe more of a dependence where there's too much, or codependence, too much referencing somebody else with regards to yourself. And healthy narcissism seems to be like that good in-between mixture. So it's not arrogance, but it's not passiveness. It's just that in-between assertiveness that we all kind of aim for. So that's kind of my take on it, but going through the literature, these were some things that I came across that seemed to be the definition of it as best as I could put into words. So it's not needing hope or ambitions to survive, but it's also not using things like grandiosity to substitute for hope and ambitions. So it's not like we have to rely on these hopes and dreams and ambitions that things are going to get better someday or we're going to amount to something, but it's also not that we have to substitute that we're better than them in order to exist and to be happy and have a healthy self-esteem. So that's one part of it. It's just having a stable sense of who you are as opposed to feeling day to day like you're changing too fast or you're not really sure of who you are. So healthy narcissism is just having that transparent ego. You know that you exist, you know who you are, and you have an identity, and you're just confident in that. There's no need to regulate your emotions through self-referencing and bolstering your self-esteem. So when you get too angry or you get too sad, you feel vulnerable, somebody with a narcissistic personality disorder might need to regulate that by either bolstering themselves up and feeling good about themselves, or projecting out and kind of putting somebody else down to feel like they're higher than others. But with healthy narcissism, there's no need for any of that. You can regulate your own emotions without those defense mechanisms chiming in. There's also not deriving any particular pleasure out of thinking about yourself. Somebody with a narcissistic personality disorder, they'll enjoy having fantasies about themselves, which we all do have that to some extent, but we don't get so lost in that fantasy. We don't get so lost in thinking about how great we are and wonderful we are with healthy narcissism. You're just confident in who you are and you're happy about who you are. There's also, when you're satisfied with healthy narcissism, it's because there's a mutual exchange of satisfaction. You know that your needs and your wants are getting met, but it's also in exchange for other people's needs and wants getting met, and you're aware of that. You never feel like it's never all about you. It's not only focused about you. You're aware that other people are involved in those social transactions, and that's okay. That feels good to you that other people are involved. So that would be another part to healthy narcissism. And finally, there's just less infantile fantasy. So infantile fantasy are things like being all-powerful, all-knowing, any of those godlike qualities that we tend to see that somebody with narcissistic personality disorder might fantasize over. When it comes to healthy narcissism, you just have a lot less of that. Sometimes that's just not even existent. Because it's not necessary. That defense mechanism isn't needed to have a healthy narcissism. So I hope that's given you a good, well-rounded picture of what healthy narcissism is. If you can think of some examples of the way that you see healthy narcissism, I'd love to hear them, so please leave them below. And I thank you for taking your time and spending it with me to learn about healthy narcissism today. Hey, it's Ryan Liberty. If you liked that video, please give it a thumbs up, share with a friend, and leave any questions or comments down below because that would really help me out. If you're somebody who's gone through a traumatic event and you're feeling cut off from the people around you, I have a free course that will help with that, so please click to get it. And if you'd like to see the rest of my videos, please click subscribe. As always, I want to remind you that your life matters. Nobody can question your worth. However it is that you're feeling, whatever it is that you're going through, it's okay, and you are loved. Thanks again for watching.